Don't worry, we're gonna fix it. Hey there, Mama Strong. My name is Michou, and I help moms find ways to enjoy self-care and be the best versions of themselves with affordable beauty. Today's video is this look right here. This is a all drugstore fall glam makeup tutorial. So if you would like to see how it's done, yes, it's all done with all drugstore makeup. Let's get started. Alright, so it feels like it's been a long time since I've done this, but here we go. Let's start with primer. I'm just using this AOA Studio Aqua Hydrating Face Primer. And excuse the pimples. I have a tiny little breakouts everywhere because it was that time of the month, and yeah, you know how that goes. Okay, so as always, Mama Strong, while we wait for the primer to dry, we're gonna move on to brows because we have no time to waste. The baby is napping right now, and that's why we need to hurry. Like always, we're gonna shape it up first. Today we're using a different brow pencil, but it's pretty much the same as the Maybelline one. This is the Wet n Wild Ultra Brow Micro Brow Pencil. This is a really thin pencil, just like the Maybelline one. Wet n Wild is cruelty free, so if you want the cruelty free version instead, then you can get this one. Then the color I'm using is soft brown. As always, you want to go under your brows and over your brows first, then you fill it up after. Make sure to have the back or the end of your brows the darkest and the front here the lightest. My brows are being a little weird today, you guys. Okay, and then this next product is like the only non-drugstore products that I have, but it's pretty much still a very cheap product. This is the AOA Studio Brow Mascara. They call it brow mascara. This is pretty much just what I'm gonna use as a brow gel to set it. Okay, now that the brows are done, or kind of, we're gonna move on to the face again. I'm going to use a oldie but goodie, I guess. I'm almost out of it, so just want to use it up. I'm using my LA Girl Pro Coverage HD Definition Longwear Illuminating Foundation. So this foundation is only good on dry skin during the fall and winter time, okay? And the shade I'm using is Nude Beige. This shade is a little bit light for me right now, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one pump on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to take this elf mix to match adjuster. This is like a darker shade to make any shade you have a little bit darker. So if you need a little bit, if the foundation that you have is a little bit lighter, then you put a little bit more on this. If the foundation is too light, then put a lot. If you know what I mean. So that's how it goes, and I'm just gonna mix it up with my sponge. I'm using the Real Techniques beauty sponge. Just mix it in the back of my hand first, and the sponge just soaked it all up. All right, okay, I'm just gonna try and see if this shade is okay. Because that's the thing that I don't really like about this Real Techniques sponge, you guys, is like it soaks a lot of products, so you have to use a lot of products to like get any coverage that you need from any foundation. So I usually don't use this as a first impression testing product because I know that it's not gonna give me the actual result or the actual the actual result that's supposed to be given to you, especially if you're testing on your products, because it soaks up everything. See, my hand is empty and I didn't even finish this side of my face. So I get on it a little bit more and get a little bit more of the elf. So I was planning on buying like all different foundations already, because all my foundations are too dark for me right now, my strunks, just because I walk to drop off and pick up my daughter from school, so I get some sun. But I don't mind it because I'm trying to lose weight, so it helps me lose weight. But anyways, my point is I got dark and so I need to change my foundation color, but with this elf adjuster we're good. So at least I want to just use up all my foundation before buying new ones, because you know, mom life, we don't have that luxury of buying a whole set of new foundations all at once, right? It's still a little light, but it's not as light as before. And I don't think the elf changes the consistency or the texture of the product either. It's like just changes the color because it's very liquidy. Moving on to the next products, I'm gonna use actually this Revolution Makeup Revolution contour palette. And as you can see, this bronzer is a little bit on the light side, so I'm actually going to use this BH Cosmetics concealer, light to medium little palette. I'm just gonna use the dark one from here. Okay, so I'm gonna use this BH Cosmetics Dome brush right here. I'm just gonna use it to apply this to get a little precision. As always, start from your baby hair or your hairline and go down. Make sure you use a tapping motion like so that you don't have any harsh line. And whatever is left on the brush, I'm just bringing it to my temples, so I'm not adding any more product. Okay. And it's okay if you cannot really see it, because this is the cream, so we're always gonna use a powder on top of it. As always, start from the hairline and going down. So that's your baby hair, or a little bit above your ear. Whatever's on the brush, bring it up. This will also hide the foundation if it's a little bit too light. If you have a big forehead like me, just make sure to cover this area of your forehead. That's your temple. Okay, I'm just adding a little bit more products, but in real life you don't need to add a lot, just because we're on camera, so I need to add a little bit more just so that you guys see what I'm doing. Now whatever left, I'm just gonna bring it down. Okay, once that's done, we're gonna move on to the Makeup Revolution bronzer. And I'm just gonna use this big fluffy brush. It's a Complexion brush from Elf. I don't need any definition, that is why, so I'm just gonna grab a good amount, always tapping off the excess, and then just putting it right above, right on the cream bronzer, bringing it up. As you can see, I'm still tapping it so that I don't move any products that's right under it. I'm bringing it down, whatever is left, just bringing it to my neck. This is to hide your double chin, make you a little bit slimmer. Okay. Okay, and now we're gonna move on to blush. I don't have a cream blush, but it would be better if you use a cream blush. But since the foundation is illuminating, you don't really need anything too wet anymore. Angle brush, Morphe angle brush. And this this particular palette from Makeup Revolution has a little sheen to it. so you don't really need a highlighter if you don't want to, but since this is a glam makeup, I'm just gonna be a little bit extra. As you can see, the technique mama strong. I'm always just pushing products in and gliding a little bit, not a lot, because you don't want to move any of these liquid products that we have on our face, because the foundation hasn't set yet. This type of foundation takes a while to actually dry up on your face, if it ever does. And I use the hydrating primer also, so yeah. But don't worry, I'm gonna try to set it with a powder later on if it's still too tacky. So we all know that I only do highlighter at the end, so we're just gonna move on to the eyes now. Okay, so I'm gonna actually mix two concealers. I'm gonna use the Hydrating Camo concealer from Elf. This is in tan. It's a little bit too yellow for me. And then I'm gonna use the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Correct in Banana. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm going to mix it up in the back of my hand again. That's a lot, I know. And then now we're gonna just find a flat brush and then mix it up and put it on our lid. Woo! It's very light. What's going on? Don't worry, we're gonna fix it. So I'm just gonna use the sponge and just try to fix this thing. And that's why this Real Technique sponge is useful sometimes. Because it soaks up a lot of products, so that if you accidentally just are a little bit heavy-handed, it will help you out. This is the only time that it's okay to drag things down, because you're using a sponge and it's your eyelid. I have been forgetting to put like concealer under my eyes lately. So I'm just gonna do that right now. I'm just gonna bring whatever is left on the sponge down under my eyes to just brighten that area up. My under eye tends to be dry, so I don't want to put too much products down there. So that's why I'm just gonna bring whatever is left on the sponge down here. Okay, and then there's a lot more on my hand, so I'm just gonna grab that also and then put it on my T-zone. I'm just gonna blend the edges to mix with the bronzer. Okay, now it's powder time. So now that we have all the concealer laid out on our eyelid and the T-zone, we're just gonna use a powder to set it. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this Ulta Beauty Mineral setting powder. I'm just gonna use this Flawless Concealer brush from Elf to apply it, taking off the excess. Make sure that you don't have any creasing on your eyelid before you set it. So what do you want to feel when you feel your eyelid before you put any eyeshadow on is like the little powdery feeling. That's the way you know that it is set, and that it will be easier for any eyeshadow you apply on to glide. That's the reason why we set it with a powder. I have a space here that I wasn't able to reach with the big fluffy brush, so I'm just using a flat brush to set it with a powder. So just use a sponge to just make sure there's no creasing on your lid first. Then you can set it, because once you set it with a powder, it's not going to move anywhere. So if there is a crease on there, it's going to stay. If you have a pressed powder, it's okay also to set it with a pressed powder. Okay, so the palette is actually the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe Armed and Gorgeous palette. Yes, I still have mine in a box. I have a thing about keeping my stuff in a box. It needs original box. I think I got it from my dad. Anyways, this is it, and this is how she looks like. So this is a very fall appropriate palette. I'm gonna use this as the underbrow highlight color. It's called VIP. I'm just gonna use a flat brush to apply it under my brows. I don't really like the color under my brows to be bright, so I'm just gonna apply a little bit. And what's awesome about this palette is it has a mirror, so it's good for traveling. Yeah, this is why I don't like bright underbrow colors. It's just not cool. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we're gonna move on to transition color. So the transition color I'm gonna use is going to be, okay, so we're gonna use Access as the transition color. I'm just gonna use a big fluffy brush to apply it on. So it's not on the crease, it's like right under that brow color that we applied. I'm just gonna mainly focus it on the outer corner up right here, and then just bring in whatever is left inner towards the inner corner, just like this. And this is why it's very important to use like a big fluffy brush, so that you don't focus in one area, you just like distribute the products, distribute the color all over your lid. Okay, next we're gonna use a little bit of precision brush, like a little bit pointier, to use as the crease color. I'm gonna use Smooth Criminal as the crease color. Okay, I need a smaller brush because my lids are tiny, so I'm gonna use another smaller crease brush. So if you need help finding your crease, it's pretty much just the socket, where your eye socket is, that's the crease. If you have mono lid, it's if you want to create some lid space, this is a very good way to do that. As always, I'm just making sure that the outer corner is a little bit darker compared to the inner corner, and then I'm just bringing the whatever's left on the brush towards the inner corner, just like so. Okay, once that's done, we're gonna move on to the outer corner color. So we're gonna be a little bit more deeper this time. So I'm just gonna use like a little fluffier brush, but not too fluffy, not a blending brush. This is a, it doesn't say, but it's JH33 by Jaclyn Hill and Morphe. I'm just gonna grab Pearl. And I'm just gonna concentrate it on the outer corner as always. That's why we need this to be a little bit fluffier to help us blend the color as well. We literally are just sticking to the outer corner and then just blending it. Then try to do the same thing on the other eye. So the whole point of using this fluffy brush is so that it's not so perfect. It's more on the smoky side. Okay, I'm gonna use coin on my inner corner color. Just gonna apply it with my finger. Woo! We might wanna wear some sunglasses for this. Okay, she is bright. So I need a little bit more precision with this, but it's okay to use like a bigger fluffy brush like this. So I'm just gonna grab more of coin. I don't know if it's gonna show up if I use a brush though, but whatever. So that the edges over here is a little bit more clean. Woo! Dang! She bright. As you can see, you cannot really see the product when you use a brush, but that's okay. I just needed it for the edge. And when I'm applying it with my finger, I make sure that I'm more closer to my eyelashes than to the upper corner, because to the upper side on my crease, because that's where we need a brush for. And make sure you always look down when you're applying a eyeshadow, so that it goes all over your lid and you see what you're doing. Alright, and then as you can see, the bottom lid is like so bare right now that we're gonna need to give it a little bit of love as well. So we're just gonna use like a little bit of thicker brush. So these are pretty much called pencil brushes. So just brushes like this. And then I'm gonna take Pearl again, the dark side, and then bringing it down. I'm just gonna put it all over my eyelash, my lower lash line pretty much. And then meeting the two. And I don't go all the way in because that will close up your eyes and make it, I don't like it. But if you like that style, you can go ahead and do that, okay? So as you can see, like it's a little bit bigger on the outer corner and then it goes smaller in the inner corner. And that's how you can meet the other two from the top to the bottom. I'm just gonna use a different pencil brush. This can also be a lipstick brush, Anyways, as long as it's small and pointy like this. And then I'm just gonna use coin again and bring it on the lower lash line. The eyeliner I'm gonna use is this No Budge retractable liner from elf. It's not the best, but this is what I have, so I'm just gonna use it on my waterline to tight line, and then I'm just gonna use it on my waterline, and I'm going to tight line as well. I'm going to use a liquid eyeliner, and this is my favorite of all time. This is the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof liquid eyeliner. I really love this because of how short the pointy part is. So it's easier for me to use. It's very easy to get like precision on this. I'm not trying to make a wing, you guys, okay? I'm just lining my eyes, not making a wing. Okay, so the lash that I'm gonna use is actually by Profusion. This is the Iconic 3D Faux Mink Lashes in Staycation. Okay, so I was here this whole time and it was not recording. Anyways, I'll just walk you through what I did, I guess. I did my nose contour, and I did use this this blush right here with the same angle brush that I used earlier, and I used this highlight right here. Okay, this is the elf Modera Metals, and then I used this gloss right here. This is the Maybelline Lifter gloss in 009 Topaz. That's pretty much it. And then I just used this setting spray from elf. This is the Makeup Mist and Set in large size. So that's pretty much what I did, Mama Strong. And I did use a mascara. The mascara that I used is this Covergirl Exhibition Uncensored mascara. This is the waterproof version. I don't know if there is non-waterproof version, but this is it. Thank you so much for watching, Mama Strong. Don't forget to subscribe and check the description box below for all the list of the products. Yeah, thank you for watching. Give the video a big thumbs up because it will help me a whole lot. You have no idea. It will help YouTube push my videos to a lot more viewers, and it will help my channel grow. Thank you, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.